Hello everybody and welcome to another Warframe showcase, and today we will be taking a look at Nidus. First of all, we're going to go over his password. If Nidus is killed at least 15 stacks of mutation, those 15 stacks are consumed, thus granting 5 seconds of invulnerability, restores health to 50%. His first ability really? They changed it? Virulence. Virulence. Sorry, I was just checking because I'm pretty sure that used to be 10 at some point, but let's continue. Virulence. The one nice thing about this ability, and I've been playing Nidus for years since it came out, is the increased energy gain. So if you hit it properly, you will not only refund the cost of casting the ability entirely, which is 50 energy, a bit expensive for first abilities as far as Warframes come, usually about 25 energy, but is very, very, very useful, especially combined with third, and we will be getting to that shortly. A fungal growth that steals energy from each enemy it strikes. For every 5 enemies hit, the infestation mutation multiplying its destructive force. We'll move on to a second. Lava response, an infested pod that erupts with tentacles latching onto nearby enemies and pulling them in. Enemies killed while hell have a chance to generate stacks. This is his go-to CC ability. If you want to get enemies away from something or have them in one small contained area, this is usually where you would use it. And this is one a lot of people don't know how useful it is, especially for an ally buff. If you can see by the damage reduction, not the damage reduction, the damage increase, you can increase that with enough power strength to around 75, which is still a great increase. You can go further, but I don't really see a reason to. Parasitic link, bind to a target with parasitic link. When cast on an ally, both the host and Nidus will get ability strength increase. Linked enemies take some of the damage inflicted by Nidus. They still say some, but with enough power strength, I'm pretty sure you can get it to about 90-95%. That's your survivor. This will be your go-to survivability when you're playing him. And his ultimate, Ravenous. Gluttonous maggots swarm nearby enemies, feasting until they are hit hit by virulence and then erupt in an explosion. Keep in mind, for every maggot that explodes on an enemy, the explosion from the maggot itself. So if one explodes and it hits multiple enemies, you will gain multiple stacks of mutation. Keep in mind, with every stack of mutation, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it increases his armor. I read that somewhere, and I don't know quite where. I know overall it does increase the damage output of just about everything here, especially virulence. It definitely increases the attack value of virulence. If we look at the tips menu right over here, I like that they actually showed a little bit about virulence there. Okay, I'm pretty sure at one point. Quick intermission. This is the build. Sorry I had to cut it in here. Anyway, guys. It used to increase your armor value for every mutation stack you've gained. I'm pretty sure that used to be a thing. I believe that's old Nidus before the rework. I think they just have his armor set at a grounded value now. But it still will increase the damage output. That's one thing I really do like in Warframe, because I know this is a skin, this is the deluxe skin, but as you see, this is not a prime effect, that's a deluxe effect. There's little thorns inside of his virulence. But anyway, let's get on to the rest of it. I did not mean summon Seal Path right off the bat. As you see, the first thing you would want to do, well, I actually wanted them to actually attack me. Let's try that again. And as you see, for every enemy hit, I'm actually regaining the energy and mutation. So yeah, you could basically, this is a little trick though, if you hug a wall, when you put down as you can see, my mutation stats are still growing until the maximum of 100, and as you can see, I am now coated in an extra layer of armor. You see I have a helm on there. Notice with every Nidus skin, they have a transformation for when you hit 100 mutation stacks. But first of all, the reason I did that is so, okay, we can use Parasitic Link. The trade-off to him having such expensive abilities, his last two don't take any energy. They just take a set amount of mutation stacks, and it looks like they are having a real hard time finding me with Shade. But as I was saying, as you see, the damage isn't large, but it is notable. That's level 100. But if you cast Larva, hold on 1 second, I want to actually get as much as these guys in one contained area if I can get it. And I didn't do that. I was hoping he wouldn't do that. There we are. If you notice, if you actually hold down the first ability, it will actually highlight the path of Vigilant and also every larva that is currently under your control on the battlefield. Range is very important because the pull from your larva is going to be very, very helpful. You're going to want that as much as possible. As you see, you don't need a lot of energy either, because using Rage or Hunter Adrenaline will be good for energy, because you're going to be taking damage constantly. I will say, he isn't that strong. He's good for crowds of small, softer, squishier units, but when it comes to Eximuses, you're gonna really need some added firepower on your end. Like these are Steel Path level 100, and let them have a go at me. I'm actually running what is it? I believe it's... I'm supposed to be running like Arcane Grace. That's me slumping those guys to smithereens, but now we're going to have our maggots have at them. You don't need a high amount of duration either, because your ultimate lasts for about a base 30, and just with a little bit of duration it can last 60 seconds. Larva is never gonna last more than 15 seconds, so it's cheaper you don't even mod for it. It could last that long, but at that point you'd be cutting into the rest of your abilities so heavily. I don't see the purpose. I usually don't do like 1 or 2 ability gimmick builds. I usually try to make my builds viable for all level of content. I don't know if they would like firing upon me. Thank you for the free energy. And we put them right back where they came from. But the sneaky trick with Parasitic Link is you can cast your ability from 2 places instead of 1, and they do intersect. So you could spam it twice as fast, but you could really just keep spamming it and tapping it rapidly if they're against the wall, because the ability cannot be cast again. For example, this distance. It covers a large distance, about 10 meters, and it cannot be recast again. But if it's stopped from an obstacle, let's say a wall, you could spam it as much as you like. But anyway guys, that has been Nidus, and honestly, I think it's time for us to mutate and cultivate.